By now, you've probably heard of Craigslist. Maybe you've sold a couch on the website. It is where you can basically buy, sell, or trade just about anything, and I mean anything. But now young women are coming forward with horrifying stories, two of them claiming they were held against their will and sold for sex on Craigslist. So should the site be held accountable? Joining us now, Nigam, founder of the online safety consulting firm SSP Blue and a former federal prosecutor against online crimes for the Department of Justice. I'm so glad that we're doing this segment because I covered the Craigslist killer in Boston some time ago. And I thought to myself, you know, these women are soliciting sex on the internet and they're getting away with it. And Craigslist is not at all being held responsible. How is this still so?
Well, they're absolutely going to be held responsible. And let me say why. 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, 40 state attorneys general entered into an agreement with Craigslist saying you have to do better to clean up the adult illegal prostitution going on the site, which means in essence they've been on probation. Strangely, rather than getting better, the site has actually gotten worse in the sense that now we're seeing child sex trafficking, extreme forms of child molestation in essence being sold on the site.
You know, the site is now, like you said, a place for child sex trafficking, slavery in this case, and prostitution. I mean, you go and buy a massage on Craigslist and you ain't getting a massage.
Not absolutely. You may be getting something else, and you may be wanting to get something else that's criminal in nature. I think one of the things that Craigslist founders have to think about is there is no question in the halls of justice amongst these attorneys general and other law enforcement out there that there are discussions going on trying to decide what should be the next step that they take.
People have died as a result. I mean, there have been people who have been murdered because of ads that are placed on Craigslist. I mean, there's got to be a punishment here for any website that allows this to happen on their paid website. People are on there and they're violating probation. I don't understand how it is that there isn't a law right now where Craigslist would then have to be held accountable. I mean, what sort of disciplinary action should be taken against Craigslist?
Well, the government has many options here, everything from criminal to civil, and criminal meaning aiding and abetting in some of these criminal events that occur. One thing to look at here is this. Craigslist is in essence like a mall. The owners of a mall have a bunch of stores and they've consciously decided, let's open a store where in this particular case we're talking about, you can bring in young girls and have men bid on them and they get pushed out by their pimps and then rape them in essence. That's what's happening, and it's a conscious decision. So from the founder's perspective, they got to be thinking, do I want to stand for a business like this, make millions off of it, or do I care about the issue here, which is about children, and do something proactively to stop it?
Children, what about child exploitation charges?
Well, all things are possible. It's something that I will say, there's no question the government is debating these as we speak. And any legitimate law enforcement agency in the country will be doing that. So it should be expected, even if it's not known or it may not be public, it should definitely be expected. And there's reason to do that because the power lies in the hands of Craigslist to do something. And I think what they're going to have to ask themselves is, do they want their reputation to be built on selling kids on their site, or do they want their reputation to be built on, like we do in the real world, a legitimate mall that people love to come to? Parents and young kids go to these sites.
Yeah, I would stay off the site until something's done. It doesn't seem safe enough for any child or adult for that matter. Nigam, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thanks for having me, Julie.